In the early 1950s, New York City stood as a vibrant canvas, painted with the hues of childhood innocence and wonder. It was an era characterized by postwar optimism, economic prosperity, and a burgeoning cultural scene that captivated the imagination of residents and visitors alike. Let us embark on a nostalgic journey through the streets of this wonderful city, where every corner held a story and every alleyway whispered tales of yesteryears. As the sun rose over the iconic skyline of Manhattan, casting its golden glow upon the city streets, a sense of anticipation filled the air. Children skipped along the sidewalks, their laughter echoing off the brownstone buildings that lined the bustling avenues. In the neighborhoods of Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx, families gathered on stoops and front porches, exchanging pleasantries as they prepared to embark on their daily adventures. One of the most enchanting aspects of 1950s New York City was its kaleidoscope of colors. From the vibrant neon signs that adorned Times Square to the pastel-hued storefronts of Greenwich Village, every street corner boasted its own unique palette. The red brick facades of apartment buildings stood in contrast to the emerald green of Central Park, creating a picturesque backdrop for the city's bustling activity. In the heart of Manhattan, Times Square emerged as a beacon of excitement and entertainment. Here, the neon lights blazed with a kaleidoscope of colors, illuminating the streets below in a dazzling display of motion and sound. Children gazed in awe at the towering billboards advertising Broadway shows and the latest Hollywood films, their imaginations ignited by the promise of adventure and glamour. For many children growing up in 1950s New York City, the local candy store was a cherished haven of sweetness and delight. With its rainbow-colored displays of sugary treats and shelves lined with comic books and toys, it was a paradise for the young and young at heart. The air was filled with the scent of freshly popped popcorn and the sound of coins clinking in the jukebox, as children eagerly selected their favorite treats from behind the glass counter. As the day gave way to dusk, the city transformed into a magical wonderland of lights and shadows. Street vendors peddled their wares beneath the glow of lampposts, their voices mingling with the melodic strains of jazz music drifting from nearby clubs. In neighborhoods like Harlem and the Lower East Side, the vibrant rhythms of African American and immigrant communities filled the air, infusing the city with an energy and vitality all its own. But amidst the hustle and bustle of city life, there were also moments of quiet reflection and introspection. In parks and playgrounds across the city, children gathered to play games and share stories, their laughter echoing through the night air like the chimes of a distant bell. And in the quietude of their own homes, families gathered around the radio to listen to their favorite programs, transported to far-off lands and imaginary worlds by the power of storytelling. The cultural scene of 1950s New York City was a rich tapestry woven from the threads of diversity and innovation. From the avant-garde art galleries of Soho to the smoky jazz clubs of Harlem, the city was a melting pot of creativity and expression. Artists, writers, and musicians from all walks of life flocked to its streets, drawn by the promise of freedom and opportunity. In the world of fashion, New York City was a trendsetter, with its glamorous department stores and haute couture boutiques setting the standard for style and sophistication. From the sleek silhouettes of Dior to the bold prints of Pucci, The city's fashion scene was a reflection of its cosmopolitan spirit, blending influences from around the world into a seamless tapestry of elegance and allure. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of 1950s New York City was its sense of community and camaraderie. In a time of great social change and upheaval, the city served as a beacon of hope and resilience, bringing people together in times of both joy and sorrow. Whether celebrating a World Series victory at Yankee Stadium or mourning the loss of a beloved leader, New Yorkers stood shoulder to shoulder, united by their love for their city and each other. As we look back on the colorful tapestry of 1950s New York City, we are reminded of a simpler time, when life moved at a slower pace and the world seemed filled with infinite possibilities. It was an era defined by optimism and imagination, where every street corner held the promise of adventure and every sunset brought the promise of a new beginning. And though the city may have changed in the years since, its spirit lives on in the hearts and memories of those who were lucky enough to call it home.